Hello, I'm Rosemary Wells. I'm delighted to be here at one of my favorite bookstores in the world, Kepler's. I was recently at the National Book Festival, and after having been asked, where do you get your ideas, probably 700 times in my life, somebody actually came up with a wonderful new question, which is, why do you write for young people? And immediately the answer came clear. And the answer was, because when I was young, the greatest joy in my life was reading and getting a new book and reading it and possibly even reading it for the second time and then the 10th time and sometimes the 100th time, because we didn't have the number of books that are available today in wonderful bookstores like Kepler's and in your library. This gives me the reason of why I love to write, because I understood the joy of reading better than any other joy as a young person. I just loved it. And so I want to make books that give that joy. And I've tried to do that right here in On the Blue Comet. Now, where this story comes from in my life, I can't tell you. But it was very easy to write because it was such fun to write. It takes place starting in 1926, just before the Great Depression. And of course, we have the Great Recession now. But it's nothing like the Great Depression, where the entire United States midsection turned into a dust bowl, and we had 25 to 30% unemployment. So we don't know or remember very much about that anymore. But I did, because all the parents of my parents' generation absolutely remembered this and came out of it. And so it informed my childhood too. So here we have a young man who's 11 years old in the 5th grade, who really is a bad math student and really is devoted to his father's Lionel train set in the basement, and they go every night to build more bridges and make more mountains and set out more Lionel trains. And suddenly the crash hits, and his father loses his job selling tractors, and Oscar Ogilvy has to go live with Aunt Carmen in the town of Cairo, Illinois. It's a great adventure story, and all I'll tell you is that in the 3rd chapter of the book, there is a bank robbery, and Oscar hides during the bank robbery because he doesn't want anybody to see him. But unfortunately, someone does, and one of the robbers says, "We've got a witness. What are we going to do?" And the other robber says, "We're going to whack him." And he takes out his gun, and he points it at Oscar, and Oscar jumps. And he jumps right onto the bank's Lionel train layout, which by then includes his trains. And he winds up this tall on a little metal bench stamped Lionel, and jumps onto a train which happens to be his own Blue Comet that turns the corner and stops for 1 minute at Dune Park Station in northern Illinois on the lakeside. And the train takes off, and Oscar's on it, and neither of the bank robbers thinks for 1 minute to look for this witness on the train layout. And so, in order to enjoy the rest of the story, you'll have to read the book. But that was the story of it, and I loved writing it, and I hope you all enjoy reading it.